Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I posted that I was going to do a Q&A about all things tummy tuck because you guys have a ton of questions, but I thought I would break it up in a couple different videos to seem a little bit more organized. So this one is going to be all about money, finances, etc., and the pain level. So let's get started. The number one question I get asked is, how much should it cost? I think I've said this in every single video I've done, but it costs $9,173. I actually had a $500 off coupon from realself.com, so the normal price would have been $9,673. Did you have to pay in full or could you make payments? You have to pay in full 2 weeks before the surgery date. That being said, the doctor's office did accept care credit, so if you wanted to finance it through that, you could. However, I used care credit when I got the lap band like a million years ago, and the interest rate was ridiculously high, and they told me my payment was going to be something different than what it actually was, so I didn't want to go the financing route. So yeah. How did you afford the surgery on an office job budget? I think I've mentioned this before, but I have no debt. My car is paid off. My student loan is paid off. So basically, I just saved money from my paychecks, and it took me about 1.5 years. So yeah, that's how I afforded it. I know it varies, but what is the expected cost involved with the tuck? I've seen it range from like $8,500 to $18,000. It just depends on your doctor, your area, what you're having done. So it really is just, I feel like, beneficial to talk to multiple doctors and get different quotes, because like the two that I went to varied by about $10,000, and that's a huge difference. Do you think it's better to finance operations or save up and pay all at once? I think it's better to save up and pay all at once unless you're having pain and you would benefit from getting the surgery sooner, but why pay interest and more money for something when you don't have to? So I would always recommend saving up and paying something in full for anything if you can. So those are the main money questions that I get asked. If you have any other questions about finances or money about the surgery, you can leave it below. I will note that I did pay about $160 for a lymphatic massage that the doctor recommended after the fact, so that was an extra $160, and it probably cost me about $100 between the prescription meds that did go through my insurance and other stuff that I needed, like gauze, hydrogen peroxide, etc. So that'll just give you an idea of some additional expenses. The compression garment and all that stuff was included in the cost of the surgery, so I didn't have to pay extra for that. So the next biggest thing you guys ask is about the pain. So I'll just get into that. It says, what's the pain level compared to weight loss surgery? So I had the lap band back in like 2008, 2009. And I remember the pain from that being much worse because it's laparoscopic, so they pump your stomach full of a bunch of gas so that they have room to work around. And I remember like the first week just trying to get all that gas out was so painful and uncomfortable. So I would say that the tummy tuck is not as bad as that just because it's not a laparoscopic surgery. Was the pain worth it? 110%. It honestly wasn't like that bad. Like it was like, oh, that hurts, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna die. So that's good. But I also didn't have muscle repair, and from the people that did have muscle repair, it sounds like that's much worse pain-wise. How painful was it overall? As bad as you thought or worse? Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So that's good. What was the most painful part of the procedure? Honestly, like the first 3 or 4 days, just going from standing to sitting or sitting to standing was the worst part. I didn't have any issues like going to the bathroom or anything like that. It was just the action of getting up and down. But when I was sitting, it was like there was no pain at all. It was just the movement that sucked. So far from what you experienced, which healing process was more complicated, the tummy tuck or breast lift? I'm still under 3 weeks post-op for the tummy tuck, so I don't really know. I do know with the breast lift, they told me I could go back to work in a week, and a week came and went, and I decided like I was not ready, so I took an additional week off. I don't know. It's really hard to say. I think the breast lift might have been more difficult just because anytime you moved your arms, like, at all, it was sore. And I couldn't lift for a long time, but I don't think I can do that with the tummy tuck either. So at this point, I'm not really sure. Pain-wise, the breast lift was probably a lot easier, and there were no drains, so that was cool. Given what you've gone through, would you recommend the breast lift or tummy tuck to anyone wanting to get it? I would recommend both, 110%. Would you recommend a breast lift or suggest getting implants instead? I can't speak to that because I didn't get implants. My body doesn't do very well with man-made objects in it that aren't like keeping me alive. So I don't know. I mean, I had enough breast tissue that I didn't need implants. Like before the surgery, I was a triple D and I'm still a triple D. So I don't know. And with implants, they recommend that you replace them like every 10 years. And I didn't want to have to plan on having surgery every 10 years because I'm still young enough that like the implants would outlive me. So I don't know. It's up to you. What was the most painful surgery recovery? Again, just sitting and standing. What have you taken for the pain? The first 3 days I took Percocet, and I did set an alarm like you guys recommended. So I was taking it like every 4.5 hours or so. And then on day 4, I just started, like, I took maybe after day 3 of taking Percocet kind of on a schedule, I pretty much didn't take anything. I did take one Percocet, I think on day 4. And then after that, within the next like 2 weeks or so, I think I've only taken Tylenol like 2 or 3 times. So honestly, I don't think you need the pain meds for very long. The doctor injects Exparel into your stomach, which is like a long-acting, not sedative, anesthetic, maybe? I don't know. Something that makes it not so bad, so you can't like feel anything for a while. So that's definitely helpful. How did you poop with the pain? Well, the first like 3 days you don't poop at all because you are constipated from the painkillers and such. So that wasn't an issue. And honestly, like the antibiotics kind of give you diarrhea a little bit, like not full on diarrhea, but definitely like squishy poo. So that wasn't like you didn't have to strain to poop. Also, I did take a stool softener with each dose of Percocet that I took. So I don't know if that honestly helped or not because it still took me 3 days to have a bowel movement. But yeah, it's not like straining, so it doesn't hurt. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the money and pain questions. The next video I will talk about pregnancy and babies with a tummy tuck, also how I chose a doctor, and kind of some other stuff about recovery. And then I'll probably do a third video with all the sort of miscellaneous questions that don't fall into any of that. So if you think of any questions in the meantime, feel free to post them below and I will answer everything I can for you. Okay, bye.